first most important is actually paying attention to your members. Going to the floor, meeting them, greeting them, talking with them. I always said to my colleagues that our job is not on the laptop. We don't have desks, so we go around the floor. Our job is to know all the secrets of our members, of course, if they wish to share with us, because that gives us the chance to have a personal touch with everyone. We have a great community manager, Hari, who is the main driver of the community, and yeah, the personal touch is really, really important. The story, it started from nothing. We started from scratch. We had to choose the building where we are at the moment. The first time when we saw it, it was one big hall, but we managed to choose the building in the stage of the construction when it was not completely constructed. So the landlord gave us the chance to design the space within as we wanted. So that's why I believe that the end result is so good, is simply because we came to this phase and we were able to completely construct everything the way that we envision it. And then we spent a year, I think, a little bit less than a year, fitting out the space, furnishing it, building the brand, the name, the design inside, and we opened in 2022 in September. And I remember when we started, and I had to write our website because I was writing all the text that was pre-ChatGPT era, and I wrote, "Join us and be part of exclusive community." And then I was like, and nowadays I'm like, so I wrote this when the building was under construction, and I said, "Join us and our exciting community" when there was no community. You know, because a lot of the co-working, co-working spaces, and we did that as well, we advertise this community. But that community, I can say that we bear the fruits of our efforts right now, 2 years later.
And if you're just as passionate about innovation as we are, hit subscribe for the Recursive podcast on your YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere.
The plan originated back from my time in Germany. I used to live there for 8 years, and 4 of these years I was working at a company called Mindspace. They're a leading co-working and flex space provider all around the world. So I gained my experience from there. I changed different positions, so I was able to see how the business runs in all the domains. And then some things happened in my private life. I came back to Bulgaria, and I had no idea or plans to deal with co-working, but I believe in the will. So the will met me with my investors, and we decided to actually make the first flexible workspace solution, to be the first flexible workspace provider focused on international clients, meaning a little bit bigger companies, not only startups, not only the local ecosystem. So this was the initial plan. However, of course, it changed it a lot. We are still the main provider for international corporates, but we do have a lot of Bulgarian startup clients within our community, or other startups from different countries around us. The story, it started from nothing. We started from scratch. We had to choose the building where we are at the moment. The first time when we saw it, it was one big hall, but we managed to choose the building in the stage of the construction when it was not completely constructed. So the landlord gave us the chance to design the space within as we wanted. So that's why I believe that the end result is so good, is simply because we came to this phase and we were able to completely construct everything the way that we envision it. And then we spent a year, I think, a little bit less than a year, fitting out the space, furnishing it, building the brand, the name, the design inside, and we opened in 2022 in September. And quickly, I would say less than 6 months after that, we were completely full. So we reached 100% occupancy in 6 months. Well, if you see our business, in the end of the day, our business is a service business, and yes, a lot of people when you say co-working or flex space, they consider it as an office space, which to some extent it is, but more or less we're in the hospitality industry, because we not only provide the physical space where our members spend their working hours, but we also try to create a community, a sense of belonging for all these people, and that we are their service partners. So they come to us with everything they need, and they have one point of contact for everything related to their office or everything related to their working daily schedule. And that, I believe, is the how to say, the thing that I learned the most from Germany is this service and how you can provide a high quality service to your members. And that is the thing that changed the game for us. Because yes, I'm gonna mention again my background dealing with a lot of corporate clients. So dealing with these clients, the service that you should provide to them is completely different than the service that you should provide to the startups. You know, they need completely different things. But itself, the co-working industry, it's more or less related to the startup. So you have to find the perfect balance. And that was one of the innovation which I was able to see in Germany, how corporates can live and function in a startup system, a culture. And this is the thing that I think, the most important thing which I took from Germany and adopted in WorkBetter, this feeling, and I believe it is seen throughout the building. I believe that we provide the most complete service. You know, for the membership that our members pay to us, they get the most. We are situated in a brand new buildings. The space is full with technology. It's designed in a beautiful way. You have a lot of room, and I don't mean room like for you throughout the day to grab your coffee, but our capability is bigger compared to other spaces, and that is the reason why we're able to attract bigger clients, because they know that when they choose us, they will have enough space for them, and they will have enough space for their teams to grow with us. And this is actually what happened. You know, we had a lot of clients that started with smaller amount of working station, and they grew to 120. This is our biggest client. They started with 10 working station, and now they have 120. And that is Infosys, one of the leading IT companies in the global world. So, yeah, so the service is one, the scalability, like not the space, what's the word? The scale. And the third different thing is that I do believe that we were the first one, the first flex provider to be focused in a brand new A-class office building, you know, because if you see how it was in the past, most of and even not in the past, even present, all around the world, co-working spaces are more or less positioned in old buildings, in old factories, and that's nice, you know, because the operating costs are less and things like that. But our concept, again, in order for us to be able to attract corporate, was to be built and placed in an A-class building. So yeah, these three things are the ones that differentiate us from the rest. So the community, that is what I realized dealing with WorkBetter in the last 2 years is the hardest thing for you to build and to achieve. And I remember when we started and I had to write our website because I was like writing all the text that was pre-ChatGPT era. And I wrote, join us and be part of exclusive community. And then I was like, and nowadays I'm like, so I wrote this when the building was under construction, and I said, join us in our exciting community when there was no community. You know, because a lot of the co-working, a lot of co-working spaces, and we did that as well, we advertised this community. But that community, I can say that we bear the fruits of our efforts right now, 2 years later. We can now feel for the first time that we actually have a sense of community, you know, because it takes time. The new people come to onboard so they can spend some time in the space, feel comfortable to go talk with our people, then start eventually making business together, and then you see all the benefits. And yes, for us it took us 2 years, and now we see it. We do a lot of events, we do our favorite happy hours, which is every week. We provide a breakfast, lunch, or after-work drinks in order to gather the whole community. We do a lot of professional events with internal partners or external partners. We did a couple of them with Recursive last year as well. And we do different type of events. We have, for example, a FIFA tournament. We will have now in March tennis tournament. We had football tournament in the summer. This is, to go out a little bit of the office environment. What we also noticed is that, we are not specifically IT related, focused space. So some of our members are not IT companies, and we brought a different series of events focused not so much on the IT topics. It was more like general health information. Biohacking is a series of events which we did, and it was extremely popular to our members. And when we shifted from the IT events, we noticed that a lot of people actually enjoyed them, because if you are into the IT sector, all of the events that you are attending are mainly IT. And when someone gives you the chance to go to a non-IT event, people still go because maybe they feel that it's too much IT shit happening. Yeah, so events is one of the most important things for building a community. And I would say the second most important, even the first most important, is actually paying attention to your members. Going through the floor, meeting them, greeting them, talking with them. I always said to my colleagues that our job is not on the laptop. We don't have desks, so we go around the floor. Our job is to know all the secrets of our members, of course, if they wish to share with us, because that gives us the chance to have a personal touch with everyone. We have a great community manager, Hari, who is the main driver of the community. And yeah, the personal touch it's really important. So the companies, the organization, of course, after COVID, they wanted to increase their costs, because they saw back in the days when they signed the huge leases, no one was using the offices. So for the organization, they were basically bleeding money for spaces which no one is using. And their desire is to have less desks, which can be utilized for more people. And that's why co-working and flex space is coming in. And that's why I believe that the concept is and is going to be so popular in the future. Because in not only with WorkBetter, but at other co-working spaces, you can have the amount of, the size of office which you actually need. You don't need to pay extra. So the organization wanted to cut costs. The employees on the other side, the ones who had complete freedom to choose whether they want to spend their time in the office or at home, I believe that 90% of them decided to spend it at home. But still, what we as an office supplier or as an office provider focused on is to make a space where once you visit it and your manager is not obligating you to coming to the office every day, you come because you like it and you like spending your time here. And I believe we managed to do this, because we never, throughout the whole post-COVID period, we never, our spaces were never empty. They were full with people. There was life inside because people enjoyed coming here. And the other thing is, what employees who preferred coming to the office want is they want to be able to spend their working day without thinking, I can only sit on my desk. I cannot talk with anyone. I have to be here at 9 o'clock. They wanted a more adaptive schedule, a more adaptive way of spending their time in office, and spaces like ours provide them with this opportunity. Yeah, we're currently working on the opening of our second location, WorkBetter 2.0, which is just behind our existing location, opening in March. And once we open the new location, we will be the biggest flex space and co-working provider in Bulgaria. We operate more than 10,000 square meters of space and more than 1,000 working stations. So The plan is to fill this location as much as possible. 1 month before the opening of the location, we are already occupied around 70%. Hopefully by the end of this month, we will reach 80. And our aim is to continue to provide the service as we provide, because I believe that is our biggest marketing manager. This is our marketing team. When we provide a service team, our members go and spread the word. So to continue to providing the same service, even though the scale is bigger, is much important. And I think this is also important for us as a company, because we reach now a bigger phase of operations. And usually, you know, once you become bigger, you lose on the control of the service. And then we do not have any interest in going outside of Sofia. So most probably in the next 3 years, we will focus and try to and open a third location somewhere in the Sofia. I am still not able to share where, but we are in the process of doing so. And then eventually for us, it's always been going out of Bulgaria, going close to Bulgaria, the surrounding countries, and yeah. But the plan is still underway, so I'll be able to share more in the future. This is a very good question, following what's happening around the world in our industry. Recently, CBRE, which is one of the leading real estate service companies, acquired Industrious, which is the second biggest co-working chain around the world. They acquired them for $500 million. That is one of the events which is very significant for the industry. The second one was happened last year when WeWork went to bankruptcy and they were acquired from Aldi, a leading real estate software. So I believe that these two acquisitions are sending strong signals to investors, both public, private, or funds, that the industry is actually doing good, that it's a profitable industry, or it could be more profitable. And yes, we're a service business in the end of the day, but taking into consideration the fact that if the business is healthy and stable, that's a good opportunity for the investors. And also by creating this culture and this community, there are some hidden opportunities which I believe in the future will be even more beneficial for potential investors, because, you know, investing in a service provider like us will not only give you a nice business, but it will give you the chance to be presented to hundreds or even thousands of potentially new companies looking for investment. And yeah, I would encourage, you know, in the real estate stairs at the moment, because most of the people, like I said, consider us as a real estate industry. We are on the bottom step. You know, you have the huge office buildings, then you have the landlords with the small office buildings, and then it's just the co-working providers. And you know, I don't want to say that we're going to be the dot-com bubble, but we can be, you know, something unique, something that will change the whole industry, the whole real estate industry in the future. And we admire and invite early investors. For me personally, I would say that this is the reason why WorkBetter is here, why I'm here, why I'm talking to you, and why 99% of the co-working spaces exist around the world is WeWork. Like the company itself was not managed properly in the end, but the idea behind it and the, how it was built and how it was developed is wow. And yeah, they started it all, and I will always be thankful to the people behind the company. Of course, because they gave the spark to so many people like me to start doing with this business. And of course, they also told us how we should not do it, so we don't reach their end, which was we crashed. So the steps are, first, to continue. That's the most important thing, you know. We are currently positioned in a very good market. Bulgaria is, in my opinion, uneducated market for our services, or at least it's in the early stage. Still, a lot of the companies in Bulgaria corporates or existing are not familiar with what coworking is. They do believe that they are familiar, but they have no idea. And us and our like our competitors, which are not our competitors, but our colleagues, we in the last years we do a lot of good things in order to popularize our service. So the market should stay and continue growing. More newcomers should come to Bulgaria. So newcomers, I mean companies from outside coming to Bulgaria, because this is the main client for our services. Because if you're a company which is entering the Bulgarian market at the moment, it is the most reasonable thing for you to go to a co-working space instead of going to your private office. And like a lot of people will hate me about this, but I would love that more companies go back to the office. You know, this is for us. This is like extremely important that people actually visit the office so they can see other boring offices and come back to us and say, "Hey, we need a cool office." And of course, money.
And if you're just as passionate about innovation as we are, hit subscribe for the Recursive podcast on your YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere.